Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix and welcome to this month's in-depth look at the new moon partial solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on March the 29th. So interestingly, this new moon is also, because it's a partial solar eclipse, which means that the moon is passing between the earth and the sun, it's called the devil's horns. Now that caught my imagination, and I'm just trying to find the picture I had. Here we are. Now I'm going to show you this picture because this is a picture of a partial solar eclipse with the devil's horns configuration, and as you can see, it really does look like a pair of horns. And this is what we're experiencing on Friday the 29th. So Saturday the 29th. So this new moon partial solar eclipse, I'll get it right in a minute, is going to be visible in eastern Canada. So you're looking at kind of Quebec. Also northwestern United States. They will actually at sunrise witness this devil's horns. What does it mean? Because of course the ancients used to see eclipses as harbingers of, let's say, change, because they used to say doom or disaster or catastrophe. I don't think it needs to be that way, especially as this is a new moon eclipse, which is all about bringing in, initiating, and absolutely kind of intending positive change and positive new beginnings. Because it is Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We've just had the spring equinox with the sun's move into Aries. We have very powerful energy over these next 2-3 weeks. Not to mention that Neptune tomorrow on the 30th, depending of course on when you watch this, but let's say this is the 29th. So on the 30th, Neptune moves into Aries. None of us in any of our lifetime have experienced Neptune in Aries. But not only is it moving into a new sign, but it's Aries. It's the beginning of the zodiac. It's the first sign of the zodiac. Therefore, Neptune has gone all the way round the 12 zodiac signs and had its kind of climax, if you like, in the sign of Pisces, the sign it rules. And with this new moon eclipse, it is actually 29 degrees and 57 minutes. It's just absolutely knocking on the door of the 0-degree world axis point of Aries, where anything is possible. Be clear about your intentions. This is like a massive window of opportunity for creation. It's a very creative power. So maybe at this point, it's a good idea to get the chart up. So Jerry, would you please bring us up the chart? There we go. So let's have a look at this, because we have cardinal energy on the horizon. So if you look on the horizon where the ascendant is, you've got Cancer. That's at 19 degrees and 59 minutes. And then on the descendant, you've got Capricorn, and that's also at 19 degrees at 59 minutes. And if you're not familiar with glyphs and this kind of astrological hieroglyphic language, if you look at that little inner circle, it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are the house numbers. So 1 is where we have the first house. So the arrow that points out to the edge of the circle there is Cancer. That is the sign that is rising when we have this partial solar eclipse. Now, the eclipse itself happens at 9 degrees and 0 minutes. And the moon will actually be at 8 degrees and 59 minutes. Hence, it's partial. It's not exact. So in your own chart, if you want to know if this is going to be personally affecting you, you need to look at what you have around, let's say, 7 to 10 or 11 degrees of the cardinal signs. So that would be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And if you have any planets in those, so if we look at the chart, that would be the 10th house to the 1st house, to the 4th house, to the 7th house, and then back to the 10th house, just so you can see. And I use what is known as the tropical Placidus because I feel tropical Placidus is gives us a more rich and four-dimensional holographic image of how these planets are interacting. Also, I use Universal London Time. So let's have a think about this, because if you look up in the 10th house of the chart, so that's right at the top of that chart, you've got Saturn in Pisces, you've got the North Node in Pisces at 27 degrees, you've got Venus retrograde at 28 degrees, you've got Neptune 29 degrees and 57 minutes, nearly into Aries, and Mercury at 0 degrees retrograde of Aries, and then the eclipse. Now we have to kind of unpack this energy and look at how this energy affects not only us in our personal lives, but also at how it affects everything that's going on in the planet. Now this eclipse, as I said, is visible as what is known as devil's horns. I think that is an incredible picture. And that is because it looks literally like a pair of horns. And it's visible, and I get all this information from timeanddate.com. Wonderful website. And basically, the eclipse is going to be visible in eastern Canada, northwestern United States. Europe will only see a partial solar eclipse around mid-morning or lunchtime. And as I've said, make sure you protect your eyes. Do not look directly at the sun without any protection. Okay, so I'm curious about this being in Canada, being so visible. I think Canada, you're in for big changes. And you know what? You are not giving up your sovereignty. I really strongly believe that with this eclipse. It's a new moon eclipse. Therefore, I think the energy of this new moon is saying, if America plans to make you the 51st state, it'll have a big fight on its hands. And I think whatever is being acted out on the world stage around this time will be pivotal in how things proceed with the security of the Canadian nationality and culture. I feel that strongly. So that's what I feel it's about for Canada. For the United States, well, I think that you have the opportunities to up your game and to begin again afresh with some new and innovative ideas. You know, we have to look at the energy of Aries, because Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, is about action, courage. It's also about individuality. It's about seeing things in a very fresh and different way, asserting one's identity. So for all of you on a personal level as well, if this is aspecting any part of your chart, then you have to use this energy to, you can really, even if nothing actually happens for you around this time, just write down what you want to bring into your life. Get those ideas flowing, because this is the moment to take those bold steps, to embrace the change that's kind of knocking on the door. Neptune's arrival into Aries on the 30th is going to bring in all sorts of kind of different dynamics and energetic energies of dreams and imagination and the ability to really dream big. The wonderful energy for new ventures, asserting one's identity. And also it's the asserting your hopes and wishes that really reflect your true passion, what you are truly passionate about. Now, I often ask this when I meet clients: what are you passionate about? Because if you're not doing what you're passionate about in some form in your life, then what's going on? This is not how life is meant to be. I believe, my feeling is, we are meant to be living our passion. And if we're fortunate enough, earning a living from our passion. I really do believe that. You've got to think of this energy a little bit like Pluto energy in Aquarius. It's about transforming, transitioning, change, enormous change. And because it's in that 10th house, and obviously depending on your own chart and your rising sign, will determine the area of life where you can most be feeling this energy. Now, just as an aside, this really today is the overview of the new moon partial solar eclipse. When I do the Astrobite for Saturday the 29th, I will do your individual signs. So you'll get what part of the chart everybody is going to be affected by with this particular eclipse. So that'll come out on Saturday morning, the 29th, and I'll give you each of your individual signs. So, but if we come back to the chart today, what I'm looking for is Pluto. Now, Pluto's in that 7th house. So it's at 3 degrees of Aquarius. Now, interestingly, it's sextiling Juno, which is the asteroid of relating and relationship and marriage and commitment. And the asteroid is at 1 degree of Sagittarius in the 5th house. Now, this is interesting because if you're on the kind of brink, the start of a new relationship or a new phase to an ongoing relationship, this can really elevate it and move it forward, even though to begin with, the path ahead may not seem clear because the sun's light is being removed temporarily. So the other energy that we have with this eclipse is that Saturn in Pisces is actually making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So we need to look at what this is about. because the new moon itself is not particularly making any strong aspect to anything. It's like it's out there on its own. You know, sometimes when we're embarking on new adventures, we're on our own. We have to just take that first step and have faith. So you may have ideas and you may be keeping them partially to yourself. Soon, I think you'll be ready to make them public, because this new moon is in the 10th house on the universal time of the eclipse. So coming back to that Saturn sextile Uranus, what is this about? Well, let's have a look, because basically Saturn is about structure and discipline. It brings in the kind of long-term planning, the thinking ahead. But of course, Uranus is always on that kind of precipice of sudden change or breakthrough. So you may have a carefully orchestrated program of your plans unfolding, and Uranus comes in and goes, whoop, no, it's going to happen now. And you think, oh, am I ready? Oh my God, I don't know whether I'm actually ready for what I was planning, because I had it all planned out. So Saturn in Pisces is very much about, I always feel, trying to put some kind of spiritual responsibility into our emotional and psychic realms, to take spiritual responsibility, to find that emotional maturity within the realms of where we can get a little bit lost and hidden in our own emotions and kind of rather ungrounded and out of touch with reality. Whereas Uranus in Taurus is in the process of revolutionizing everything, of turning upside down sometimes our security, our finances, everything we value. But I think together, because it's a sextile, it's actually very helpful. It's actually bringing some balance, because I think together they are bringing up into our conscious awareness practical ideas of how we take things forward, especially if suddenly we're propelled into tomorrow and we thought tomorrow was not going to happen for quite a while. And that can be in financial areas, creative fields, relationship areas, again, depending where it falls in your particular natal chart. I think Uranus is very much about finding out how we utilize technology for earthly matters, and to find a way to make it work at the kind of grassroots level. I was having a conversation with someone earlier about how with technology, the older generations, of which I myself am one, really need to be encouraged, if they have not had much access to technology, to up their game. Because as much as we get older, we don't like change, we have to accept the change is coming. And as high street banks close around the world, and we are being siphoned and pushed, funneled into online banking and systems like that, whether we want it or not, we can't go against this tide of change. So it's a bit like, if you can't beat them, join them. We've got to catch up. And so Saturn can represent the maturer generations and their need to up their game. I think once Saturn moves into Aries in a couple of months' time, we will get that shift of energy where the older generations are going to think, whoa, okay, I think I better up my game. So what else can I tell you about this Saturn-Uranus sextile? What Saturn will help with is slowing down anything that happens suddenly in your life, that suddenly throws you into a state of chaos, so that you're thinking, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do all of this. I can't handle this all at once. What Saturn will do is actually help you regain some stability, because it is a sextile. So it'll help you regain some balance and stability so that you can find a kind of methodical way to work your way through any chaotic sudden upheavals. So this eclipse, because we have this aspect at the same time as the eclipse, is giving us the opportunity to build a future that incorporates tradition and modernism or innovation, so that we can update the outdated structures in a way that is sustainable, to find that stability and create long-term growth on the world stage and individually, to kind of merge together, to melt together, to knit together our wisdom, the wisdom that Saturn gives us, with the modern technology and advancements that we have. You see, if we come back to the chart and just for a moment get a sense of that energy building up in that 10th house, you've got Pisces. So we're still caught in the imagination and the what if and the dreaming of what we could bring in, how we could change the world, so to speak. And then we've got, and what my eye is falling to is Neptune conjunct Venus retrograde. So Venus is now pulling away from Neptune back into Pisces. Venus, the planet of self-worth, of value, of relationship, relating. And Neptune is saying, it's time. It's time to allow this kind of, let's say, our pot that has been bubbling away, simmering away in the oceans of our unconscious, of the imagination, of creation. Neptune moving into Aries is saying, now we can initiate these plans. Now we can set them in place. Now we can get going. Now we can get moving. So wow, what exciting energy. I think in general, and at this point I'll get Jerry to magically remove the chart. I think in general this is a very powerful new moon partial solar eclipse. I mean, you know what us astrologers are like. We say that with every eclipse, with every full moon, with every new moon, with every solar eclipse. But it is, because it's in Aries. And it'll be the last eclipse we have in Aries for a long, long time. And, you know, because we are onto this Virgo Pisces axis. So that's why this is a partial solar eclipse, because the North Node is wide of the actual position of the Sun and the Moon, which is why it is partial. So let's see what unfolds over the next 2 or 3 weeks as we move through Aries into spring and towards summer. And I will, as I said, do an astrobite on Saturday the 29th with all your individual signs. Just a brief heads up of which part of your chart, from your rising sign point of view or from your sun sign point of view, of where you can expect this energy to manifest. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me and for your constant support. It's, bless you, it's heartwarming. Thank you so much. And there are some of you who are regulars in the comments section, and I so look forward to reading your comments. And I just want to say again, thank you, thank you, thank you for your support and your loyalty. It means a lot. And if you're new to my channel, please remember, I would love it if you could like, comment, and subscribe and join our growing community. And also, if you would like to have a one-to-one with me, then please go to my website, pennydix.com. No booking system. You email me on penny@pennydix.com and I reply to you direct. Well, maybe not exactly on the same day, but soon. And we will find a suitable time. But do let me know your time zone, your location, so I can look it up on timeanddate.com so that we get the right time zone, because I've had, when I'm recording this, it's still the 21st of March, and I've had a horrible time because America has gone into daylight saving, and in Europe we haven't. We don't do it till the end of March on the 30th, 31st. So I've been getting in a horrible muddle with my clients, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So listen, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And thank you once again. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Bye.